Well, hello everyone. It's Ferocious Knight here, and I'm with the wonderful Melanie McCloskey, who is a business coach who really, truly exhibits and what I consider whole person coaching at its best. I mean, you work with a wide variety of populations. You've really customized your coaching style. And, today I'd like to learn a little bit more, at least I know it, but I'd like to actually share with our audience a little bit more about you before we kind of jump into the coaching sample that you provided that showcases some of your skills out in the world. So would you be willing to begin with maybe telling people, like, how'd you get into coaching a little bit, but really how is it that you've brought coaching to create the business you have today?
Great. Well, thank you, Ferocious. Let's see. So how did I get into coaching and how did that
Yeah.
get into the business I have today? I had worked for a financial coaching agency actually and was introduced to coaching through that. And I was in sales then, and my coach gave me the feedback that I should really check into being a coach because I had the skills and talent for it that he saw. And I followed that for a number of years, followed that idea. And I worked in the business world for different nonprofits and small businesses, things like that. And noticed that I really enjoyed supporting people to go bigger and get out of their own way. Yeah, so there was, and life took a turn, and I wanted to change careers. And from what I was doing, there's a lot more background than that, but the short
There
piece
always is, yeah.
is I decided to pursue it, and I found your amazing company and was really drawn to the whole person um, aspect of it, because I think change is an inside job. And um, most of my clients, so I'm a life coach, but I do work a lot with a lot of solo entrepreneurs. And I find that people have something that's going on that they come to me for. They might not come to me for business. They might come to me for life issues, but there's something about getting out of their own way. And there's a thread that we can find when we do the discovery that really can run through their life, their business, their relationships, everything. And when we untangle that, everything up levels. So that's, I work with a number of solopreneurs, like I said, but that connection of finding what fulfillment feels like and looks like to them is tends to bring their success up with everything. Did that answer your question?
It did, and I kind of just, as you were talking, it just really reminded me, as a fellow business coach, that people will come in and, once they start to look at their whole life, they start to really see where their whole life is kind of affecting their capacity as the business owner, and vice versa, to the business affecting the rest of their life and joy. And I also know that you have a lot of things that you've infused your coaching with. Would you share a little bit more about that?
Yeah. And one thing that's coming to mind too, just to piggyback on that thought, is as entrepreneurs or business owners too, our work tends to be our life. We've chosen our work because it's not work, because it's fun and awesome and amazing. And so if we're not enjoying it or we're stuck, then there's normally something that we're doing because we are our business. It's our performance and our excitement that we bring to that, that brings that fulfillment. So helping people work through that is really exciting and fulfilling, and to make work fun again. And yeah, I do a number of different things. I'm also a Reiki master, and I've gotten really into essential oils the last few years. And I do sell essential oils, and I find that both of those tools are fantastic for helping another layer of people get out of their, helping people to get out of their own way. And also essential oils are just incredibly powerful little change agents at helping us to anchor new beliefs or change our perspective and ways of thinking. And the energy work too, as well, just really helps people to relax and have a new perspective that they might not have had before on their life. So when we use these outside tools, it helps us to align more with the truth of who we are and see things in a new way that can be really beautiful. So it's still a little bit of a mystery to me, and that's probably why I love it so much. It keeps me really engaged. And but I like to follow those things that are exciting.
Yeah. Well, and also when I'm hearing that work, and
Yeah.
you putting together, your own unique coaching method that infuses these two pieces, that makes you unique from other people. And I'm imagining that you find that, your clients, you're not only helping them, but they're drawn to you because you offer something that's not off the shelf or a traditional approach.
Yeah. Yeah. And it's so interesting because people, I don't consider myself woo woo, and, and I don't love that term, but it's kind of hilarious. But I think, oh, people might think this is a little woo woo, but to me, it really is just another tool that's not me. Coaching isn't me. I am just a sounding board, and the same thing for energy work or even oils. I'm just the facilitator of something else that's going to support someone to empower themselves. And so it's really interesting to me because I find the best tools are things that people can learn to use themselves and go and flourish with on their own. So
I love that.
yeah.
So when people come to you, what do they typically come to you for first? Like, what are some of the things that they are seeking?
Generally, when people are, I get a lot of referrals, and generally people find that they're stuck and they're somehow getting in their own way, and they're not quite sure what that is or what that looks like. So um, through the discovery, and I help people to identify their strengths and their values and their talents, and then really focus in on those to go live those more in the world of actually who they are authentically. And so people really like to get in tune with those things as well. And let's see, I was following another thread there. But generally it's that they are stuck in some way and know that they can't move forward on their own, which I really love because that's coaching. I think all of us need to be in community to really move forward and do things that we've never done before. And so that's kind of the true spirit of coaching, is working with someone else to help you see your blind spots and hear things in a new way. And it's not going to show you anything new, but it's going to help you to pinpoint and work through what your truth is and really get clarity and then maximize that.
Absolutely. And for the demo that you've shared, or you're going to be sharing below this video, I'm going to do that little point thing down below this video. There's not a buy button. There's actually something even better, an opportunity to see Melanie in action. Like, is there anything you'd like to say about that coaching session? Anything that might relate to just kind of how coaching works, kind of without giving away too many details? So.
Yeah. It was fantastic because it was someone I actually hadn't gotten to work with before, and I was really excited because I tend to work with, I call my clients rock stars because they kind of are. I mean, they definitely are. They definitely are. So she was a rock star that I really admired, that is stepping out to do something different in the world than she's done before. And it was really fun to help her to think through and identify some things that she was already doing that she could maximize, and some things that she already had in her toolbox that she wasn't seeing, that she could look to, and to help her to attain this goal and to do it in a way that was fun. So I think a lot of times when we want something, we think it's going to be hard and we think it's going to be work. And what's really beautiful is we can do things more effortlessly. We don't have to sacrifice all the time for something that we think we want. So there doesn't have to be that energy of, oh, if I'm going to do this thing, then I have to really toil for it, And instead, it's like, what if it was actually fun? What if we actually lived in a way that was more authentic and more fun, and we did more self-care than we've ever done in order to attain it?
I'm over here like, yeah. that permission slip is signed.
Yeah. That's kind of what we did. It was pretty fun. It was pretty amazing.
Yeah. Well, I'm really appreciative that both you and your client were willing to share for the general public, because I think it really helps people to understand like what really happens behind the scenes in coaching, because I think it's still kind of a mystery.
Yeah.
And I know a lot of times people they don't really necessarily see how many different ways that coaching is applicable.
Yeah.
I'm wondering, is there anything else that you would like to share with the audience at large about coaching, about yourself, that might be helpful for them to just kind of dive in just a little bit more? Anything that would be, from your viewpoint, that would be helpful?
Yeah, I think the one thing that's coming to mind is that generally people have a little knocking that's in their soul, a little soul calling that they really aren't sure how they're ever going to do it. But if you have this nag of either something that you want or something that you're not happy about in your life, and things can be very different. And the key is that to get support for that, every high achiever has a coach.
Yes, they do.
Every single one. So there's no one that's done something big that most likely has done it on their own completely. And the beautiful thing about hiring someone who's different than you to help support you is you get new perspectives, you get a sounding board, you get to make it easier than you would on your own. And that calling that you have, you're worth it. It's worth it. It wants to happen. So honor that and get help to do that. And I just have it takes a lot of humility and to get call a coach and say, I can't do this. I don't know how. I don't know why. I don't know how. And a lot of times, I think that's what separates people that hire a coach from those that don't, is that fear of, I don't know why I can't do this. Can you help me? And so get over it, because it's fun, and it's just there's such a fine tune. It's a beautiful fine tuning of just creating a new alignment, creating a new thought, and getting out of your own way. It can happen so quickly that things can change, and then you're at this another level that you're like, okay, well, what else is possible here? What can I do now? And life becomes a lot more fun. So
yeah. Absolutely. Well, and I'm also just kind of synthesizing what you're saying. I think it's so important for people to realize that people that do well in life actually ask for help.
Yes. Yeah.
They don't try to do it all on their own. And I think, that's such a barrier for so many people to really succeeding is, certainly you can toil and trouble for 5 years trying to accomplish something that you might get done in 5 weeks with a coach.
Exactly. Yeah. I'm as guilty as the next person. I have a list of things that I want to come up with. Like, well, how's that going for me? But there's things that when you do, it's just that I have that it's just like, oh my gosh, that was so easy. Why didn't I ask for help before?
I got up to 3 of my own coaches at one point because I needed help in different areas. Mm-hmm. And I have to say that, I kick butt so hard and so fast that I'm almost overwhelmed with how much progress I've made, because, a lot of the things that I was working on, I was sloughing for like, a couple of years, and finally I'm like, I just need some help. And it was like, woo, talk about, take your own medicine, teach, right?
Coach.
Oh, so I'm wondering, if people wanted to get a hold of you, what would be the best way to reach you?
You can find me on my online home. It's melaniemccloskey.com, and I bet you'll have a link on there somewhere.
I will. I'll put it right below with put it down here.
Yeah. And then my phone number's there. You can call me. And I generally get back to people within 24 hours or email me. So
yeah,
I love chatting with people too. So it's really, I love helping all sorts of different people. So it's not just business owners, things like that, but anyone that wants to get out of their own way and feels like they resonate with what I have to offer. So don't be shy.
Sounds great. So I also just wanted to mention, because you didn't mention, I know that you do different workshops and stuff as well. So someone that wants to maybe just kind of toe dip a little bit, you also have workshops as well.
Yeah, yeah. I do an annual reflection retreat series in the beginning of the year, and that's generally around I live in Hood River, Oregon, so it's around the gorge, and then also in Portland area, I do some. And those are just fantastic. I have people that have been coming for 8 years straight every year. So I really enjoy that. And then working with some people to potentially do some more this summer. But I'm always up for doing private retreats as well and workshops. And I do half-day workshops and things like that for different groups. So if someone has a group or a team that they want to dive deeper and get more clarity, and a lot of what I do is help people to identify what it is that they really want and get really clear on that. And they might not have even dared to dream before of what it is they want. And same thing that you said, I've had people in the workshops that have said that they kind of wanted to do something for 10 years, didn't know what it looked like, and then did it that year after they got the clarity and actually wrote the plan. So yeah, it happens fast. So yeah, I love
that.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, thank you. I mean, I just want to say a huge hug, a virtual hug, but also thank you so much for showing up and sharing. I feel like part of my mission here is to really help the general public understand the deep value of hiring a coach, and also to understand what coaching is and also what coaching isn't. And of course, like you're queen of it, all the different ways you can apply it. And so the fact that maybe you're working with someone, someone's working with someone like you, maybe on their business or maybe on a personal, but being able to really work with the whole person and all aspects of their life and that deep importance.
Yeah, it's great. And I really appreciate how you help to get coaching out there. And I think it's on the rise as something that's a normal thing to do. And so thank you so much for showcasing us and showcasing all the different types of people that you can work with as your coach, and really appreciate all the amazing people that are drawn to you that are good friends of mine now to be coaches. So yeah, thanks for what you do in the world.
We have the awesomest community ever.
Yeah, we do.
Oh, well, thank you again. And I see your light out there, but I want to see it even brighter. So, challenge. You do amazing work, Kelly.
Slowly but surely. I'm slow, but my clients are a lot faster than I am.
I know. Doesn't that always happen? I love it when I see my clients are like, wow, they published their book. They're doing a TEDx. Well, okay, first.
Oh, they're traveling all the way around the world. They got a Tesla.
Yeah, right? Awesome. Yeah. Well, thanks again. And I look forward to seeing you out there and in person again soon.
Thanks, Rocha.
Mwah.